Good afternoon. We are pruning in the greenhouse today, and I wanted to take this opportunity to go over the pruning fundamentals in a Mittleider garden. I'm going to show you all of these crops that we're scrolling over here and briefly discuss stuff like our tomatoes that are growing in a single row. All right, let's get started. This is going to be true for all the plants in your garden, regardless of you're growing in 2 rows or you have a single row that you're growing vertically, such as my tomatoes over there. It's always going to be the same. Leaves which are touching the soil are a candidate for coming out. Leaves which overlap with the plant next to it and are creating shade, like here, those need to come out. If you don't have those issues and you're simply pruning so that you have food for the week, and all of these plants in this row have secondary edibles except for the kale, all of which is edible, you want to take the larger leaves near the bottom of the plant. By continuing to take the larger leaves, it's going to create new growth, and you're eating a young, relatively young leaf, and it's always going to be tender and good. All of this cabbage, when I get ready to start pruning, and I'll show you here in a minute, those are the things that I'm considering. We want these plants to all get adequate light. We don't want them shading one another out and competing for light. This end of the garden is not too bad. Those cabbages really need to be pruned. All right, let's go look at the tomatoes real quick. Same thing with our tomatoes here. We got plants that are shading one another. They're competing for light. And I do have quite a few suckers that I need to prune as well. All of that's going to come out. I'm not going to go into it a whole lot. I have a pretty extensive video discussing tomato pruning. If you're looking to learn more about pruning a tomato, I will put an iCard here for you, and we'll also link in the description to that video. We should be able to see light between these plants. They are badly in need of pruning. Let's go look at the carrots. Carrots are also in need of pruning and thinning out. When you do this, ideally you don't want to just pull them out. When you do that, the plants that are next to it that are going to stay, you're disrupting the roots and you're going to cause stress to the plants that you want to keep. Get a good set of pruners, and I'll show you my pruners here in a minute. Just cut off the ones that you're not going to keep. Leave the ones that you're going to save. Let me get you set up on the tripod and we'll start pruning cabbage. Now, pruning you always want to do in the cool of the morning or late in the afternoon. Don't do it during the peak heat of the day. It's going to cause more stress to the plant and you may risk losing it. Kind of like the tomatoes, I've also got a pretty extensive video on pruning cabbage. I'm not going to go into it a whole lot. I am going to let you see the difference in these few plants when I'm done with the pruning. The video that I have done previously on pruning the cabbages, I will link to here in an iCard for you, and I will also put a link in the description if you want to watch this video through till the end. Oh, look there, I have a volunteer potato growing right in the middle of that one. Again, I'm pruning those leaves which lap over with the plant next to it, and I'm taking anything that's touching the soil. Touching the soil makes it easy for insects to get on the plant, and it also introduces the plant to any diseases which are soil-borne. This doesn't harm the plant. A lot of people get worried about it. It's good not to worry. Cause this plant to grow more leaves, which is going to create more food for you. All of this is edible and will significantly increase the amount of food that you're able to get out of your garden. This plant is done. I like how it looks. I've taken quite a bit of the stuff off around the bottom, and these are the pruners that I like, by the way. They do sell them at Walmart and Amazon. It's a Fisker product. Next week when I come through and I take a leaf or two off of every plant to eat, this leaf, which is the largest leaf on this plant, is going to be the one that I'll take. It's still relatively young. It's going to be tender. It's going to taste good. All right, I'm going to blow through the rest of this cabbage and I'll bring you back and show you the broccoli and cauliflower. I brought you back real quick to show you the difference after it's been pruned. There's a lot more room in here now, and it's also going to be easier for me to water and apply my weekly feed. I didn't mention it earlier. This is the first pruning that I've done on my brassicas, and it'll be the third pruning on the kale. When I do the first pruning on this, the true leaves, or the first true leaves that set on these plants, I leave them intact when I transplant them into the garden. They never really get big. They're going to be relatively small. Like here's one here that I missed. That leaf here is one of the first leaves, and obviously it's a lot smaller than that one. It's never really going to develop into anything substantial. When I do my first pruning of the year, I take all those off. Now I've got cabbage. It looks a little naked, but they're pruned up, and these are going to start producing food for us every week now. Yeah, I'm forgetting all kinds of things today. This is a small laundry basket, and you can see I've already got it full with just the cabbage leaves. There's a lot of food that I pruned off. This is good and nutritious, and I'm going to continue on the broccoli and cauliflower. Here we go. I did not record pruning the broccoli and the cauliflower. It's close and similar to what I do with the cabbage. I would like you to see that now the center of my aisle is open. This is going to make it easier for me to apply my weekly feed and do the watering. Still need to prune the kale. I schedule my pruning a day or two, or sometimes even the day of my weekly feed, and it makes it a lot easier to get that weekly feed in here. I did go ahead and prune the tomatoes. There's a lot more room in there. You can see the kind of the amount of how much I've got here. This 5-gallon bucket's about a third of the way full. I am a little more forgiving with these tomatoes until they get up to about 2 feet tall. I don't want to prune too much where they overlap because there's not a whole lot of leaf matter on them yet. But after they get to about 2 feet tall, they're going up the twine and going in opposite directions. I'm pretty brutal with them. I have opened up a lot more space. There's a lot more ability for it to get light now. That's what it looks like when you're done pruning. These are my Brussels sprouts. I haven't pruned them yet. I'm not a big fan of Brussels sprouts, but I do really enjoy the greens. If you do smoothies or juicing, these are a great leaf for that. That's it for our video for this week. If you have any questions about pruning or a particular plant that I've not covered, let me know. I do have a video on pruning cucumbers that you grow vertically. I'll put links to those videos in the description. Thank you for watching. Happy gardening.